Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the other side of the corner and welcome to your latest Chelsea transfer news. If you've missed out on the earlier video, do check that out. A really nice interview from Levi Colwell, who drops a lot of truth bomb, man, who drops a lot of, you know, aggression in terms of mentality growing for next season. I absolutely loved it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I did a video on it. So do go check that out earlier on UK time, approximately about 9 a.m., 10 a.m., somewhere around then, UK time. That's when it was dropped. So do check that out. Today, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see in the picture, Garnacho news has been all over on social media, especially on X. It's inevitable. I said it in my previous video. For the last couple of videos that I've done on Garnacho, I've said, look, it's inevitable. This is going to happen. He's going to be a Chelsea player. It's written now. It's written in the stars. We have to accept it. We cannot now sit here and just keep going against the grain. We have to now start thinking, okay, if this guy comes to Chelsea Football Club, or not even if, when he does come to Chelsea Football Club, what can he bring for us? So we've got a lot to talk about. Apparently, background checks have been completed, and background checks have turned out to be beautiful. No problems with his character. His character is A-OK. So we're going to talk about all of that, don't worry. And we've got news in regards to Xavi Simons as well. I feel like with these two in, Nicholas Jackson's future at Chelsea Football Club is definitely finito. I know he's not direct competition for any of these players, Garnacho or Xavi Simons, but there's just too many attackers to have, and I think Nicholas Jackson will move on. Now, before we get into all of this news, we'll kick things off from Mark Guiu. Mark Guiu, ladies and gentlemen. News in regards to Mark Guiu. It is a here we go. He's gone to Sunderland on loan. So we will have one eye on Sunderland. Upcoming, every season we have one eye on certain teams because some of our players get farmed out and they go on loan to develop. So it's going to be interesting to see. Sunderland have done quite a lot of business in this transfer window already, and they're adding Mark Guiu as their primary striker, I believe. So let's have a look at their, let's have a look at the news exclusive coming from Fabrizio Romano earlier on today. Sunderland agreed deal to sign Mark Guiu on loan from Chelsea. Here we go. Deal in place for straight loan, no buy option clause, as Guiu remains part of Chelsea's long-term plans, which is great. Obviously, it means Armando Broja, please immediately find a football club. As much as I thought Broja could have worked out at Chelsea, back in the days, I was thinking about that, but now I think his time's over. Salary covered by Sunderland, as he'll be an important striker for Labry's plans. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. I think this is nice because Mark Guiu, he wasn't going to get any game time at Chelsea Football Club, and him getting a loan move to Sunderland is perfect. Premier League move. How Sunderland plays, we need to see, because there's a certain way that we play at Chelsea Football Club, and we don't want Mark Guiu to play something totally different. You want him to be in line, but look, ultimately, need him to get the minutes, and I think Premier League loan move is fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know your thoughts about this move of Mark Guiu, not Mark Guiu, that's a different player. Mark Guiu to Sunderland. Let me know your thoughts. Now, we've signed another player, ladies and gentlemen. It's a kid. Yes, we have signed another kid, but I'm not against any of this anymore because our current team is looking good. So you want to go out there and find the next gem and make some money out of it, or maybe potentially become a Chelsea player down the track. I have no issues. We've signed a winger, I believe, a kid from Crystal Palace. Jesse Derry is his name, leaves Crystal Palace and joins Chelsea. Agreement sealed. Look, I don't have any information about Jesse Derry. I've got to do a little bit more research and maybe do a video down the track. But all I know, he's a kid and used to play for Crystal Palace, and I believe he was a winger. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know if you know more information about Jesse Derry in the comment section. 18-year-old winger Jesse Derry signs in at Chelsea after deal sealed with Crystal Palace last week. There you go. We're not going to stop. The whole kids philosophy is going to continue because it's part of our revenue stream. It is. Whether they make it at Chelsea, whether they go to Strasbourg, whatever else, if we do add more clubs in our multi-club model, the bottom line is we're going to continue trying to find the next big thing, and we're going to try and develop them. and see if we can make some money, or if they want, potentially become Chelsea players down the track. We'll see. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know your thoughts about Jesse Derry to Chelsea. Now, Alejandro Garnacho. Alejandro Garnacho, ladies and gentlemen, background checks have been completed, and there is no issues, no malice, no adversities found on Garnacho. Everything has turned out to be a-okay. He's a supreme player. This is the report that's come back, and we have to now accept it. Oh, well, I'm accepting it, and I'm going to believe it. And I just hope that when he does come to Chelsea Football Club, it works out. And every other nonsense that he's had at Man United. And to the people that keep saying, Miz, what nonsense? Please, please, I put my two hands together. Why are you lying? Why are you acting like you don't know what's happening? Please simply just type Alejandro Garnacho Man United controversies on Google, and you'll see a whole list of issues that has happened over the past 12 months or even more. So let's not sit here and pretend. If we're gonna bring this player in, let's actually be honest and just go, look, yes, he's got issues. We all know about it. His brother is an issue as well, on top of him being an issue. But we accept all of that, and we hope that it turns out. Let's not pretend. Let's actually accept the truth, and let's move forward with it. Let's see if it works out. Let's see what type of deal we do with them. I wouldn't mind if we end up doing like a Sancho type of deal where we loan him, and we've got an obligation to buy, but at the same time a penalty to send him back. I would love something like that. But this is the latest, and there's a lot of news in regards to Garnacho. Garnacho news has taken over Chelsea's Chelsea community. Chelsea are expected to place an offer for Garnacho before the end of the window. They have completed background checks and have no concerns over his character. I mean, who's doing these background checks? I mean, who is it that's doing these background checks? How could you say that there's no concerns about the character? But it is what it is. Some people are saying maybe they did the check on his mother, and his mother said, yeah, my son's beautiful. He's a fantastic kid. This is coming from Matt Law. So yeah, background checks completed, ladies and gentlemen, and there is no concerns. Chelsea are very convinced on Garnacho as an opportunity. His name is mentioned internally every day. Every day, these people, whether they're having breakfast, whether they're having lunch, whether they're having dinner, every single day, people are talking about Garnacho. His name's being mentioned. He's a must-have. He's a must-have. It's going to be about the price tag. I keep telling you about Garnacho and Chelsea. This is Fabrizio Romano. So we had Matt Law, Fabrizio Romano, who's been telling us about Garnacho for days. It all comes down to the price tag. Look, anything around £30 million, yes, can be deemed as market opportunity. Any more than that, I think that is a bit of a nonsensical approach for Garnacho. Anything around 30 million, you can understand that why Chelsea's going for him. He's young, got a bit of talent about him, cheapish money, hopefully cheapish wage. And then if he does do well and we think about letting him go, we can down the track let him go for bigger money than 30 million. So I don't want to see no 40 million business, 45 million. I think that'll be insane. Garnacho wants to stay in the Premier League. He's made that very clear. He wants to leave Man United because he's done over there. And look, maybe a change of environment, because the environment at Man United for the past God knows how many seasons hasn't been great. So maybe a change in environment could do wonders for Garnacho. That's the hope. And hopefully Enzo Fernandez can put his arm around Garnacho and guide him. These are all hopes. We're just hoping. So let's see what happens. But yeah, don't want to see big type of money transfer for Garnacho at all. If it's around the 30 million mark, I've got no issues. Now, Xavi Simons. Garnacho news will still continue, but we're going to throw in some Xavi Simons conversation as well, because a lot of us are trying to figure out what's happening there. And I'll give you my opinion on it as well. Xavi Simons' conversation remains ongoing. Work in progress also on the contract. It is important for Chelsea to sell players to create some space and then to try and complete the situation and deal for Simons. So it is true. We do need to get rid of players. We've got rid of João Felix recently, which is fantastic. João Hato has come in. We do need to get rid of Nkunku. We've got some Nkunku news. We need to get rid of Viga. We need to get rid of Sterling. We need to get rid of Chilwell. So I can understand why Chelsea are thinking about, let's get rid of some of the players before we open up more, space for incoming players. I get that. However, there's a couple of issues here. The more we stall on this, the problem is Leipzig are in conversation with both Newcastle and Man United for Benjamin Sesko. Now, Leipzig, ideally, I don't think would want to lose both Sesko and Simmons. So if they lose Sesko first, are they going to be open to losing Simmons as well? It looks like Simmons wants to join Chelsea Football Club. There's no doubt about that. There's no doubt about personal terms agreed and all of that. I think Chelsea will take care of that. But it's a matter of timing. And Simmons is someone who's not, it's not like he's not participating in Leipzig's, preseason tour. He's playing, he is participating. It wasn't like the Hato situation where Hato said, no, I'm done and dusted, it's over, I'm going. Like, don't include me in any preseason nonsense. I'm going over there. Simmons is not the same case. He's interested, excuse me, he is interested to join Chelsea Football Club, but at the same time, it almost feels like to me that maybe there could be a chance where he stays as well if Sesko leaves. We'll see. We'll see. The other twist here is, I think even if Sesko goes, if we can send Chukwuemeka there because Leipzig's interested in Chukwuemeka, then we could potentially get the signature of Xavi Simons as well. Because you have to understand, Leipzig needs time to buy players too. It's not just about getting the money and making huge profits out of these players, but they do need to go there and buy players and replace, or else they're going to struggle this season. So watch this space, what happens with Xavi Simons. But for me, that's the perspective at the moment. Simons and Garnacho are separate topics. It's not either, it's both. Chelsea want both players. Let's see what happens. I'm not the one taking care of talks. So let's wait. Chelsea are working on both deals. I've said it for the longest part. I haven't said it in the last All You Can Eat Chelsea episode. I know this week we didn't have All You Can Eat Chelsea because a few other people are unavailable. We'll try and reconvene next week. But I said in the last episode, if you guys remember, that I have a feeling we're going to get both Simons and Garnacho, which means Jackson will have to leave. Jackson will have to leave. So Fabrizio Romano saying the same thing as well. And I feel like it's inevitable, especially the Garnacho one. Whether Simons happens or not, I'm now doubtful about that. But Garnacho, bank it right now. He's going to be a Chelsea player. Undoubtedly, he's going to be a Chelsea player. The conversation is going very well between Chelsea and Leipzig for Simons, so that's good news. Hopefully the conversation continues to go good this way and we find a solution ASAP and that whatever happens with Benjamin Sesko doesn't hamper Xavi Simons. At this moment in the window, Chelsea are focused on selling as many players as possible and then attack on incomings. I love it. We need to get more players out. We've already got quite a lot of players out. I've seen reports somewhere recently that we've sold up to 160 million pounds already this window. That's sensational. 160 million pounds. Wow. And we need to sell more. We need to sell more because some of these players, they're on good wages and they are not, they're not favored at Chelsea Football Club. Inter's alternative to Lookman, if they do not get him between tomorrow and Saturday morning, will be Nkunku. There you go. Nkunku's name's being popped about. He was getting mentioned for Leipzig. He was getting mentioned for Bayern Munich. He's now getting mentioned for Inter Milan as well. There would be an issue with his high salary, though. This is coming from Fabrizio Romano and Matteo Moretto in the Italian YouTube channel. That's the problem with Italian clubs. Are they able to pay those wages? Are they able to pay a decent fee? Inter Milan as well. I hate doing business with some of these Italian clubs, man. I know recently we had a rumor of Juventus and Nicolas Jackson for 60 million pounds. Look, how they're going to fork out that type of money, I don't know. Generally, Italian clubs don't do that. And wages as well. So we'll see. But Nkunku needs to find another club because we've got too many players up front. And we're looking to add more attackers as well. Nkunku's future at Chelsea Football Club is well and truly over. And seems like Inter Milan is the latest one linked. Let's see if there's any other news that has popped up over the last few minutes since we started doing the recording. No, that's it. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know your thoughts about everything we spoke about, especially in regards to Alejandro Garnacho. Background checks completed, and he turns out to have zero concerns. Do you have zero concerns about Alejandro Garnacho? Comment below and let me know your thoughts in regards to the transfers that we've done recently in relation to Guiu, to Sunderland, and Jesse Derry. Tell me if you know much about Jesse Derry. I was going to say Desi Jerry in the comment section. Smash up the like button if you're here for the first time. Subscribe. Hit the bell notification to stay in touch with our content. Till next time. Take care. See ya.